Hello and welcome to my bedroom. This is a room that I have not filmed in yet, so welcome. I want to talk a little bit about some exciting things going on, starting my art shop, kind of chat. I don't know if I really want this to be a podcast episode, but might turn into that. This might be the first episode of a podcast. I've been wanting to start one, and my friend Danielle and I are in the process of doing one together remotely, which has been really stressful. The other night we were trying to figure it out, and for some reason I think it's DaVinci Resolve, was not working for us, and we watched like 100 tutorials on how to fix this one issue. So if anybody knows anything about DaVinci Resolve and editing, please let us know. I know TikTok was just banned, and along with it was CapCut, which is what I normally edit on. So hopefully that'll come back too, because TikTok like literally just came back. It was gone for like 2 seconds. I'm not gonna get into that whole situation, but I do have opinions on everything happening. But yeah, so I've been in the process of creating a website for probably like a whole year now. I have a website, it's been up for a while. I was in Italy when I was making the bulk of it, which was really nice because my friend Tori is really good with websites, and she helped me go through that whole thing because it can be very time consuming, and it can also just be very frustrating at times. So I've been working on my website, and I'm finally at a place where I'm happy with it. I keep changing it though, which I'll probably keep doing, but I officially, finally, after months, have art prints up for sale. This is like a huge milestone for me because it's taken so long to actually get them out. I'm super excited about it. I'm offering 2 different options of quality. They're both archival prints, but one of them is a little more affordable, and the other one is a little more less affordable, maybe, depending on your budget. I'm going to show you 3 of them in this video. I guess we'll just start doing that. The first one that I decided to print, I was originally going to call this series of 3 the Holy Trinity series, which I still really like that idea because all of them kind of correlate with some kind of spirituality, but I kind of just wanted to get the prints out there because I've been waiting so long, and yeah. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a more like specialty print drop, a more exclusive print drop in the future when I have more paintings up. This is the first print. This painting is called Soul Rotation. I made it when I had moved back from Italy and moved to Idaho, which is where my parents are currently living and where I'm actually living currently. And it was a really weird transition because I had been in Europe for 2 years, and I was moving back to a place that I had never lived or been to before. And so it was really hard for me to adjust to that. Going out and living my life on my own and then coming back and moving back home with parents is obviously not the easiest thing in the world, but especially lately, I've been very grateful to have the opportunity to have a place to stay for free post-grad, because I know that's not an option for a lot of people. So I've been really practicing my gratitude lately, especially. It was really hard for me when I first moved here because obviously Italy to Idaho is like the most drastic change you could think of. But I've really been trying to work on being present and not worrying about my current location, because I already have plans going forward in the future for 2025 of places I'm going to be traveling, and just plans for my business. I mean, opening this print shop is like a huge deal for me. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, so this painting was kind of me processing that move, and you can tell that there's like some European architectural inspiration going on here. I didn't really want it to be a self-portrait, even though it was about me. I don't know why, because I honestly have made so many self-portraits and I like doing that. I haven't done it in a while, but I kind of wanted her face to be kind of resemblant of like one of those typical Renaissance faces, like big forehead, prominent nose. But I was also watching Game of Thrones when I was painting this, which is why it kind of has like a medieval vibe to it. It kind of was just representing my soul and my life being turned upside down in a way, and trying to embrace the beauty in that and not be like super upset about leaving Europe, essentially, and embracing change. The next print that I have up is this print. This is actually a master copy. Oh, shit, I cannot remember the name of the artist. I messaged my professor the other day to get it, but I can include that if anybody's interested. Let me know in the comments. We were given a series of paintings to do a master copy of, and this one I was just so drawn to. In the original painting, it has real gold in it, and yeah, I just love her. I love this painting, and I was like, I just need to make prints of this, because I feel like if you're super into like kind of the Renaissance or like old style decorating, this would be a beautiful print in your home, especially with like a gold frame to match the gold in the photo. And again, these prints, these are the nicer lychee I never know how to say it prints, but you can tell it's kind of like this really nice fine art texture paper. It's kind of very hard to tell on the camera, but yeah. And then I have this one, which is my all-time favorite painting that I've ever created. This is titled Eve, and the story behind it is basically, I included on my website like a whole description of how this painting came about. I envisioned this on a train ride. I had like one of those moments that you have as an artist where you have like a vision just come to life in your head and you have to sketch it out, and that's exactly what happened. And I feel like when that happens is when some of the best paintings are created. I was coming back from Italy and I was just reflecting on all of the information I learned. I took a couple classes like history of prostitution and women throughout art, and I learned a lot about the injustices, surprise, surprise, that have been done to certain women throughout history. And obviously Eve is like the most notorious one that has this label of ruining everything and women starting all the cursed things that happen on earth. And I really wanted the painting to kind of represent the blood on our hands in that situation, the blood that has been put on our hands through that narrative, and how damaging religious storylines can be to a population. As you can see in the photo, I chose to have the apples bleeding onto her, and then the apple in her hand is also drawing blood. Specifically, I put blood marks on her neck to kind of represent a lot of the art that depicts women beheaded or violence against women in general. I'm really interested in this idea of painting really intense topics with a beautiful exterior to them. So it's kind of like you have to really think about, okay, why is this making me feel this way? Why is this affecting me? Because when I look at it, it's a beautiful painting and the imagery is beautiful, but at the same time, there's some underlying tones, like she has fire in her hair. Like, what's that about in this beautiful scenic situation going on? And there's like the white swan, which represents purity, something that is also a really common theme in how women are supposed to be, or how women need to stay pure or else they're not going to be desirable through the eyes of men. There's a lot of undertones there, so Eve is definitely a favorite of mine, and thankfully a favorite of a lot of other people's. I've gotten lots of compliments on that painting, and I think it's really because it came from somewhere in my heart, my brain, my experiences. It was just a very natural process for me. I didn't have to think about the composition as much. It was just there in my brain, and that every time that happens, I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. That's like truly, it's like, if you guys have seen the movie Soul, I think it's Pixar. It's a Pixar movie, but it's one of my all-time favorite ones. And I just constantly think about like the flow state that is represented in that when I'm in a moment like that, where I'm just like creating naturally and no expectations are there. It's just like, this is clearly something I need to be doing, and this is who I'm supposed to be and why I'm doing this, if that makes sense. Those are just 3 prints that I have up on my website right now. If you're interested in purchasing those, they all have a 1/4 inch border on them in case you want to frame them, which I definitely recommend. I'm starting my little gallery wall over here right now. I'm gonna add more all along the back. I've been in such a interesting space lately because I feel like a massive shift happening with me. When I first moved to Idaho, I was very pessimistic, I guess. Like, I just am living in a small farm town, suburban town, very conservative. I've been very isolated, and I think in some ways that has bothered me because my life before was so exciting, constantly doing things. But at the same time, I've grown to appreciate the beauty in staying still and spending so much time with myself. Something I've really been reflecting on lately is how little I have interest in pursuing anything romantic. I think in a way I crave more friendships. Like I miss meeting people out and about, but in terms of like romantic relationships, I just haven't had the desire to even occupy space for that in my brain, which is something that is pretty new for me. I feel like my whole life I've kind of constantly been like, I'm not somebody who gets into very serious long-term relationships. I've been in like one long-term relationship, and that was like 5 years ago. I've had like things on and off, but I used to really let that get to me. Even like last year, it was like still an issue. And it hasn't been until I've been in this isolation and kind of separated from the male species specifically. I've been watching a lot of videos about decentering men and just kind of being in your female energy and your female power. And because I've been working on my little businesses so much and just been so preoccupied on my career and myself, I've just really felt this non-desire to even pursue anything like that. And it's been really, really refreshing because oftentimes if I didn't have something going on romantically in my life, I would like blame myself or put it on myself or try to make it seem like there was something wrong with me, like finding any excuse really to put it on myself, which is just obviously not good and it makes you feel like shit. And I'm just really proud of the growth that I've had, and I think I wouldn't have been able to grow like that unless I was isolated in the way that I am isolated now. So I've been really acknowledging the beauty in all of that and really centering my brain to like what I want out of life and what I can do on my own and accomplish on my own. And I'm running a full-time art business right now because I have been I was reflecting on this today while I was painting because I'm working on an album cover commission right now, which is super exciting. But since I've moved home, I have just been given like an abundance of commissions, and I think part of me manifested that because I was like, there's no way in hell I'm working in a restaurant. I just know in my bones like that is not what I meant to be doing. I meant to build my empire and build my businesses and be the artist that I know I can be, and that is exactly what I've been doing. I've just been painting commissions the whole time since I've been back, which is why it's taken me kind of a while to get these art prints out. But I'm super excited to have them out now because while I've been so grateful for the abundance of commissions, I'm also really wanting to work on paintings that are individual to me and not something that somebody wants me to paint specifically. So by making these prints of my individual paintings, it's so special and so exciting for me in my career because that's ultimately, I want to make art that influences people and makes people think and that people want to invest in, because it has impacted them. So yeah, I'm super excited to have these prints out, but I'm also like just so grateful that I've had a whole running business of commissions since I've been home since May. And I've saved up enough money at this point where I can finally start thinking about where I want to travel next. And I just so happened to be planning a trip with my family to go to Japan because my dad grew up there and we have been talking about doing a trip there forever. My sister's in Madrid, so we're all going to meet there. But that's going to be happening in September. And I was like, well, by that time, I should have enough money saved up to just maybe stay there. Maybe just stay in Japan and experience it and experience a whole nother culture, experience where my dad grew up, but also get some solo traveling in because I think also this time of being in isolation has just been so healing for me, and now I just want to continue to be alone in a way. Like I love socializing, I love connecting, I often get energy from socializing, but there's just so much beauty in isolation sometimes in spending time in your own company. And I really want to make some art about that. I really want to make art about what that experience has been for me, but I think especially in Japan, if I spend some time there, I really want to go into nature. I want to find a place to meditate daily. I just think it would be very transformative. So things are really aligning for me right now, and I'm very excited to see what happens with that trip and how I can really just open myself up to the world again after it being a little caterpillar in its cocoon. And I'm probably going to be doing a lot of traveling around that time and doing some workaways. If you guys don't know what workaway is, that's probably what I'm going to go through. It's essentially you can stay somewhere for free and often you get free food. I did one in Greece, and my friend Tori and I stayed there for about a month, a little less than a month, and we painted a mural in Santorini on the side of this restaurant right on the beach. And we got like I kid you not, like almost $2,000 worth of free food for just painting a mural, and we were literally right on the beach. We were drinking margaritas, like it was an amazing experience. So I can't wait to see what 2025 brings in terms of travel, in terms of where abundance is going to show up in other places. I'm really excited to see the direction this channel goes in. It's really nice to just kind of sit here and talk. I feel like a lot of my other videos have been more planned out, more one direction. So it's been nice. I want to do more of this. I think I will probably turn this into a podcast just because at the end of the day, like I really want to start a podcast. I want to talk more about art and about like these experiences, like how Japan is gonna really influence my art just like Italy did. I mean, when I came back from Italy, my paintings completely transformed. Like they went from like one kind of style. I'm always changing styles, but they went from one kind of style to just this completely different kind of style in the most beautiful way. And I know from the art history that I've studied how inspired so many artists traveling to Japan years and years ago were inspired by like the woodblock prints and all of the Japanese art and architecture, and I just cannot wait to see how I'm inspired there. And yeah, it's just traveling is everything. It's what we should all be doing, honestly, seeing the world, and that's a priority for me. It really is. At the end of the day, I've tried to push it off and like be like I need to save and move out. I mean, I'm 24, so I graduated. I took a couple years off after high school and I graduated a little older than my class. And I get so in my head about like, oh, I need to move out right now, blah blah blah, but I am lucky enough to have a family that lets me stay here while I'm not traveling and that I can come back to, that is supportive of my art career. And yeah, I mean, who knows though? I don't plan to stay here for very long, and I'm hoping once this YouTube channel picks up and I form my community and I can keep making art and hopefully influencing people and forming just a group of artists in this community. Who knows what's gonna happen? But yeah, I'm super excited to see what that's going to look like, and I'm just so giddy. I've been just really, really focusing on gratitude lately, and I am so grateful. I am so, so grateful to have the opportunity to stay here, work on myself, and then push forward and have more experiences. So yeah, if you're relating to anything I'm saying, or you experience similar things and you struggle with shame or self-doubt or any of that, I would love for you to join this community. I want to be more open on here, and I want to just talk about life and talk about what it's like being in your 20s and being an artist, and specifically trying to navigate that in money and manifestation and spirituality. I don't know about you guys, but I have so many things that I'm manifesting for this year coming up, and I've been really doing some witchy shit lately. I've really been tapping into that side of myself. Sometimes I do wonder if I was a witch or I had witches in my family before, because I do feel very drawn to a lot of those practices, and I feel like I've been resistant of that for a long time, and I'm finally just like at a point where I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm gonna do it. It feels good. I like doing rituals. I like the witchy shit. I'm not gonna lie. So if you're interested in that, if you know anything about that, if you want to share anything, I would love, 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 love to hear what you have to say in the comments. I guess I'm gonna end this here. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble. If you are interested in buying an art print, please think about it. I really tried to offer more affordable options for people who don't want to spend too much on like an archival print, but they want to support an artist. Accessibility is a big thing for me at the end of the day. I want people that connect with my art to be able to access it as best they can. And I want to be able to get them out to you as quickly as possible too. Also, if you purchase $40 and more, you get free shipping. Another little bonus. So if you want to do like a couple prints or like a bundle shipment, you will get free shipping most likely. So yeah, keep that in mind. Please like and subscribe. I'm really going to try to invest more of my time into this, and that helps a lot. I'm realizing that the more that I'm creating, how much it helps. I know it's annoying when people say that on their videos and nobody wants to do it because it's just like, okay, like, don't tell me what to do. But I do really understand now that I am actually in it and creating content. I do understand how much it impacts your channel. I'm not gonna nag on about that any longer, but I thought I might as well get in the habit of starting to say it. Please buy some prints if you like them, and if anything that I said resonated with you, please let me know. I would love to get to know some of you, and I would love to talk about art, travel, struggles, any of that shit. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next, I guess, episode. If this becomes a podcast, stay tuned. I don't know. But thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.